This is the drafting episode. First drafts, redrafting to a position, register control, and the 3 reads you run before anything leaves your desk. If you've watched the earlier episodes in this series, you already know how to brief Claude, how to review documents, and how to extract what you need from a contract. This episode is about producing output, the correspondence, the advice, the documents that go out under your name. Claude can do a lot here, but only if you brief it correctly. And that starts with understanding that not all legal drafting is the same. Before you ask Claude to draft anything, you need to know which category of drafting you're doing, because each one needs a different brief. There are 3 types: correspondence, client emails, letters of advice, update letters, demand letters. Register is everything here. Claude needs to know who's receiving it, what relationship exists, and what tone the situation requires. Advice, formal advice letters, opinions, memoranda. Structured, analytical, conclusion first. Claude needs the legal question, the relevant facts, and whose interests are being served. And documents, contracts, deeds, agreements, pleadings. The most technical drafting type, and the one where Claude needs the most context before it writes a single clause. If you haven't downloaded the free PDF from the Foundations Masterclass yet, it covers the briefing fundamentals this episode builds on. The link is in that episode's description. Highly recommend going back to it. It makes everything here land faster. Every drafting brief has 6 elements. Miss any one of them, and the output suffers. Element 1, your role. Who you are in this matter. Solicitor acting for the vendor, barrister advising the plaintiff, in-house counsel for the employer. Element 2, the recipient. Who is reading this? A sophisticated commercial client, a first-time buyer, opposing counsel, a judge. Claude writes differently depending on who's at the other end. Element 3, the purpose. What the document needs to achieve. Update, advise, demand, settle, record, protect. Element 4, the register. The tone and style. Plain direct English, formal legal, warm and reassuring, firm and commercial. This is the element most lawyers leave out, and it's the one that makes the biggest visible difference to the output. Element 5, the key facts. The specific facts Claude needs to write accurately. Names, dates, amounts, the nature of the dispute or transaction. Give Claude the facts it needs, or it'll fill the gaps. Element 6, what to flag. What Claude should mark rather than invent. Anything it doesn't know, any detail you need to verify before the document is final. Mark anything you're uncertain about with verify is the instruction. 6 elements. All of them, every time. The goal of a first draft is not to produce something sendable. It's to give you something to work from. A usable first draft has the right structure, the right register, and the right facts, with verify flags wherever Claude has had to guess or estimate. Everything else gets fixed in the redraft. Brief Claude for that first draft accordingly. Here's what a complete first draft brief looks like for an advice letter. I am a commercial solicitor acting for the employer. Draft an advice letter to my client, a non-lawyer, on the enforceability of the non-compete clause in the attached employment agreement. Plain, direct English. No boilerplate. Conclusion first, then the reasoning. Mark anything uncertain with verify. The employee's name is name, the restriction is 12 months, and the geographic scope is New South Wales. That's 6 elements covered. Role, recipient, purpose, register, key facts, and the flag instruction. What comes back should be structurally sound, appropriately registered, and clearly flagged. That's what usable means. Not ready to send, ready to redraft from. Redrafting is a different task from drafting. You have a document. You need it to move. Harder, softer, shorter, more defensible, better structured. Claude can run that redraft from one instruction. 4 redraft types lawyers use most. Harden the position. Redraft this letter to take a firmer position. Remove hedging language. Make the conclusion clear and unqualified. Soften the register. Redraft in a warmer, more reassuring tone. Same substance, less formal. This client is anxious. Sharpen the structure. Redraft this to lead with the conclusion, then the 3 key points in order of importance. Cut anything that doesn't add to those 3 points. And the stress test. Read this draft as opposing counsel. What are the 3 weakest points? What would you attack first? That last one is the most underused. Run it before anything contentious leaves your desk. Claude will find the weaknesses. Better you find them first. Here's the single most important instruction you can add to any drafting brief. Without it, Claude's default register is formal, generic, and completely interchangeable with any other document it has ever produced. It sounds like a template. That's what Claude produces when you don't tell it otherwise. The instruction that fixes this: draft in plain, direct legal English. Avoid formal boilerplate and legalese. Write as a senior commercial solicitor would, not as a template. Add that to every drafting brief. Or even better, put it in your Matter project instructions so it applies to every conversation automatically without you typing it every time. The projects episode in this series covers how to do that. 2 minutes of setup. Every draft that follows is better for it. Before any draft leaves your desk, run 3 reads. The client read. Read this letter as my client receiving it for the first time. They are not a lawyer. What would concern them, confuse them, or require clarification? This is the read that catches the things you stop noticing when you've been staring at a document for 20 minutes. Claude will read it with fresh eyes every time. The opposition read. Read this draft as opposing counsel. What are the 3 weakest points? What language is ambiguous or could be read against our client's interests? Run this on anything contentious. The weaknesses Claude identifies are the ones the other side will find. And the verify read. List every fact, date, figure, or legal proposition in this draft that should be verified before it is sent. Flag anything you stated with less than full confidence. Every verify that comes back is a task before the document goes anywhere. 3 reads. Run them all, every time. 2 things before we close. If you want the advice letter workflow from this episode running automatically, without briefing it from scratch every time, it's available as an installable skill in the Solicitor's Claude kit. The skill runs the full structured output with verify flags built in, register instruction preloaded. Install once, run on any matter. The link is at claudeforlawyers.gumroad.com. And if you haven't watched the Foundations Masterclass yet, the free PDF companion to that episode is the reference document this whole tutorial series builds on. Prompts, workflows, the briefing framework, all in one place. The link is in the Masterclass episode description. The next Masterclass in this series is coming. Full matter lifecycle, worked examples across every stage, free PDF companion. More on that soon. 3 types of legal drafting. 6 elements in every brief. First draft, redraft to a position, register control, and the 3 reads before anything leaves your desk. The complete drafting workflow, built for practicing lawyers on real matters with real documents. That's the episode. See you in the next one.